So, one thing that I feel like I don't need to talk to you about, but it's just practice. Okay, all the stuff that we worked on. I know all the stuff me and you have worked on personally has maybe been different than stuff that you've learned over your last 60 years playing the game.
Sure.
And the thing about this game is, it changes.
Yeah,
it changes all the time. I mean, you told me before that you've had how many different putting strokes?
Oh, infinite.
Right. Our mind's constantly changing. It feels like our game's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So, the only way we can keep up with that is to practice. So,
yeah.
Practicing once, twice, 3 times a week, and in our case, in your case, when you're retired, you can almost practice
literally 7 days a week.
Literally 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You're at least hitting, 50 balls a day on average if you're practicing. Okay,
yeah.
and at least 50 putts a day.
Yeah.
So to keep yourself in that condition of, with it evolving, like I said, everything always changes. Our minds always change, so we got to take a new look at, either whether this feeling is different to us, or this looks better to us, or this feels different. We always got to keep up with that by practice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see you hit a couple shots here. Is there any drills that you do when you practice? When you come out here and you're practicing?
What I try to think about is fundamentals.
Right.
When I practice.
That's the key.
And there's a couple of them. One is the one-piece takeaway.
Okay.
I'm not a handsy player, as you know. I don't lag or anything. I simply take it back and get through. So the one-piece takeaway, where this triangle is a constant until the momentum of the swing breaks the wrist down. The other thing is that I try to keep my hands together.
Okay.
In other words, this thumb rests against the lifeline of my right hand, and I try to keep those connected throughout the
swing, because in certain parts of the swing it could lose pressure.
Absolutely,
on it.
And then when you do that, then you have to grab it and get it back somehow in the midst of your downswing,
and that causes pressure on your grip, which is pressure,
yeah.
tension, all that.
And I try to keep a constant grip pressure in the swing, and those are the fundamentals that I look for.
Okay.
And
so when you come out, let's see you hit the shot. Go ahead.
All right. I'm aiming at the red flag out there.
Okay. You might sink it.
Just left.
Good. So, the keys, and just what I was going to say, the keys to practice is just to make it simple, right? Make it simple, have games that you can play that are fun,
right.
All right, that keep you really involved in the practice and where you're trying to go, like your goals, right? So you got to have your goals when you're practicing. I like to have a goal every time I come out and practice of, hitting a certain shot, at least 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
All right, where in an imaginary circle that I see, I'd like to hit it there 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
All right, and that makes me, that's a successful practice.
Yeah.
If I can do that every practice session, I'd like you to have something like that really is just goal setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Set goals that are realistic, that are, easy to get to in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I try to do is I try to start with the shorter clubs.
Yeah.
Such that the rhythm of the swing that you get with a wedge transcends into the longer irons and into the hybrids, and then finally into fairway woods, and then finally the last club I ever hit during a practice round is my driver. And I try to do the same thing on every swing.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough at 75 years old to still be pretty flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I can see that in your swing, which is, it's a blessing.
Yeah,
a lot of people your age here are not.
Oh, absolutely.
That can be a hurt to their game, and you have great flexibility, great turn. Your shoulder turns good enough. You use your body very well in this one.
Yeah.
All right. So as long as you're out here, if you just keep practicing, game's always changing. So as long as we keep up with our minds, keep up with the game, keep the mind and the body connected through the practice, I think we're good. Keep the goals set. As long as we have goals that we are trying to reach in every single practice session, not just trying to reach them throughout the week, but I think every day when you're out there practicing.
I always hit a target.
Yep.
I always have one of the boogies out there as a target.
Yeah.
And try and just repeat swing after swing.
Yep. And like we talked about, earlier with the, picturing things mentally.
Yeah.
Okay. Practice is the best time to do that. Okay, because not only are we teaching our body something, but we can teach our minds while we're doing these things. So practice with the mind as well, not just with and like you're saying, hitting to a target every single time.
Yeah.
That is practicing not hitting a bad shot. So many times you can come out here just hit balls aimlessly. You're not really caring where they're going, but when there's consequences, it gets a little different and it gets a little bit more anxiety built up inside you.
Yeah. Well, we talked about commitment over on the putting green there. One of the things that I learned a long time ago is the mind doesn't recognize the word don't. Yeah. So if you stand up there and say don't hit it left, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to hit it left. So you have to get up there and say hit it out to the right, rather than don't hit it left. And I'm a firm believer in positive thinking.
Yeah. If somebody tells you not to think about elephants, what are you going to think about? You think about elephants.
Right.
So it's exactly, you're absolutely correct. So, kind of train your mind to think those positive thoughts instead of trying to push aside the negative thoughts, right?
Exactly.
Which is, and that's part of training. It's very hard if you're, depends who you are. A lot of players are different, but, some people have trouble pushing that negative to the side and seeing
well, they
the
do, yeah.
side,
It's not uncommon. The other thing I try to focus on is I want to make sure I see the club face hit the ball.
Yeah, keeping that head down.
And let the momentum of the swing bring my head up. Because there's plenty of time to watch the ball.
Absolutely,
after it's gone.
Yeah, especially if you're playing with people, they'll watch the ball. And,
True.
Let's see you hit one more shot here, buddy.
Right.
Red flag again?
Red flag. Yeah.
All right.
This is a pitching wedge.
Yeah.